group 4. We're gonna talk about 6 stories happening in 6 different stages in our lives. And here are the 6 stages. They are kindergarten, elementary, junior high, senior high, undergraduate, and graduate. And I'm gonna talk about stories happened in my kindergarten age. When I was young, my parents usually took me out to have fun in the weekend, and we usually went to the Spring Square. Spring Square names after the nickname of my hometown, the Spring City, and it's an awesome place for the citizens to have fun. That was a sunny day, and my parents drove me out to Spring Square, and my mom took a photo for my dad and me. Here's the photo. You can see that. It's the logo of the square, and here's my dad and me. There were a huge crowds of people and so many attractive, interesting things around me. And unfortunately, before I knew it, I got lost. Totally lost. I didn't know where to go, and I didn't know anyone around me. But luckily, my parents had foresight and attached a small card to every one of my clothes with their names, their phone numbers, and the home address on that. So, and my mom also told me to go to the police station whenever I found myself got lost. So I just didn't panic or afraid. I just walked toward the police station, and also pretending to be calm is another trick my mother told me to do when I found myself got lost. Cause you know that if the kids cried out or just didn't know what to do and looked unusual, then some traffickers may realize the kids were away from their parents and were easy to be lured away. So I just so calm. I don't know how I can manage to do that, but I just got to the police station and asked the police officers to contact my parents, and my parents finally just picked me up at the police station. That was a pretty thrilling story, but fortunately have a happy ending. And next we're gonna welcome Howard to tell us his story.
Hello everyone, I'm Howard, and I'm going to talk about a story which happened when I was an elementary school student. So when I was young, I really liked kind of a dessert which is called bing, which is a kind of Chinese cake with really crispy layers. So I still remember that when I was 6, that I ate that kind of cake in my grandmother's house. Since I was told by my mom that I should not waste any food, so I usually pick up those scraps from the ground and ate them. But then there was one time that there was a scrap which is so hard that I cannot chew it. And after a few seconds, I decided to swallow it. But after that, I saw my grandmother. She was removing her dead food skin from her fruit. So gosh, I realized that is not scrap from the cake, but her dead food skin. So yeah, this is a really disgusting but funny story. I learned that, but after that, I learned that I have to think twice every time when I do something, and I was not that careless after the thing happened. So this is my story, and I'm going to pass the stage to our next person who is going to talk about her story in junior high.
Hi, I'm Diana. So today I'm going to share a little story that happened in my junior high school. In my high school, we live in the surrounding neighborhood, so we always have a 2-hour lunch break allowing us to have lunch and finish the homework set in the morning sessions. And then in the afternoon, we return while handing the homework. I recall that it was a fall afternoon. I arrived at school really early, about half an hour before the afternoon session started. So I placed my homework notebook on my desk and went out for a few minutes. When I came back, there was one of my friends, let's just call him A. I heard a rumor saying that A was copying my notebook, and at that moment he did have my notebook in his hand. of course, I know it was a rumor, and I certainly understand that he wasn't that kind of person that can copy others' homework. But it was too early. I was a little bored, so I pretend to act dramatically and to be super fierce at my friend in purpose. And I just rushed to him and yelled at him, put my notebook down, and at the meantime, I kidnapped his pencil case. He knew that I was playing around, so we just had a little game of chasing. After a few rounds of chasing, it was about time to start a class. So we decided to have a trade of notebook and pencil case and end this little chasing. At the time, I was standing by the door, and I was standing across the corridor by the handrail. And our classroom was at the 4th floor in the building. So we made a deal, and I tried to toss the pencil case to him. But however, I kind of applied too many forces onto the throw action, and I could see the pencil case went above his head and fell downstairs. Well, it was fourth floor, so the sound was so the sound of smashing the pencil case was so loud I could hear it from 4th floor. I looked at A with such a guilt, and I was trying to apologize to him and explain to him that I did not do it on purpose. It was just a joke. I didn't mean to ruin his pencil case. Meanwhile, suddenly, the dean of our year came upstairs with such an angry face and looked at us. Who threw this pencil case on me? It almost hit my head. Well, it turned out that the pencil case was not the worst thing. The worst thing is that it almost hit the dean's head. Well, I thought it was just only the pencil case. I never thought it would be a much riskier thing happen to the dean. Well, luckily no one get hurt, and that's the end of our story. And I will hand in to senior high. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Bosco. In my high school, I was young, so I was kind of unbridled and disobedient. I took psychology in grade 12, and I found that course not very intellectually stimulating, so I skipped it a lot. And I found that the teacher's notes were straight from the textbook, and his tests were solely based on his notes. So my mentality was that I could easily ace all the tests without even going to class. So I skipped a lot of classes, and my psychology teacher actually talked to me, but I just didn't listen to him until one day in October 2013. Wow, that's a long time ago. So my chemistry teacher actually called me to stay in class, like after class. I was kind of nervous because I didn't know what was going on until he said, Bosco, in my system, it shows that you skipped 13 classes in psychology since the beginning of your semester. What's happening? I was kind of shameful and regretful because he was my favorite teacher in high school, actually my favorite teacher in my entire life. So I felt sorry, and I said, I'm sorry. And he asked, why? I said, because the material is dry, the course is not interesting, and the teacher's monotone. He said, listen, you are a good kid, but you forget about one thing, and that's respect. Try to do a little mental exercise before you do something to other people. Try to step into their shoes. If you were the teacher, imagine if one of your students always skipped to class, what would your reaction and feeling be? I fell into silence. On the next day, I actually went to my psychology class, and took the initiative to talk to my psychology teacher, and I apologized to him. My conversation with my chemistry teacher had a very great impact on the rest of my life. I realized a student who does not even know how to respect his teacher is not considered a good student, no matter how high his grades are. So now I'm going to pass the story to undergrad.
Hi, I'm Bree, and I'm going to be talking about some of my experiences in undergrad at U of T, St. George. I moved to Toronto when I was 17 and into an all-girls res. In this res, I met girls from all over the world, from like China, Japan, Russia, and Greece, and it was just an amazing experience, super diverse, and I've met so many of my best friends there. And one of them, she actually invited me to stay with her and her family in Greece the summer after third year. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I go there, it's the middle of July, it's really hot, really warm, and it's like 6 o'clock at night. And she's like, oh, are you tired? Like, I know you just landed. And I'm like, yeah, like a little bit, but it's okay. And she's like, good, because we're going out. So I was like, oh my gosh, like, have to get ready. So we go out to this gorgeous bar called Look Up in like the northern suburbs of Athens, and like there's ivy like crawling up all the walls, and there's no roof, like it's only a place open in the summer, so like there's no roof, you just look up and you just see like all the stars, and it's so gorgeous. And it's kind of like on the fancy side as well, like everyone was dressed super nicely and like super posh. And when we were leaving at sunset, I was super tired from the jet lag, and I was going down the stairs and I missed a step and fell down the stairs flat on my face. And it was so embarrassing, like everyone was looking and like seeing what had happened, and I had to like be helped up, and yeah, just not the first impression I wanted to make being there. So I was able to laugh it off at least, and it made for a funny story to tell our friends after. So that was one of my experiences from undergrad that I treasure very deeply. And then I'll pass it on to graduate, to Leo.
Hello everyone, I'm Leo. When I graduated from university, I thought I was so clever and sharp, but I got cheated by a saleswoman last summer. I remember I bought a pair of shoes in a big shopping mall in Tianjin, China. And when I paid the money, the cashier told me that I got an opportunity to draw a lottery in a jewelry store downstairs. So I thought, why not give it a try? It was for free. So I went into the store on the ground floor, and the saleswoman told me to randomly pick up a lottery ticket in a big box. I did so, and it turned out to be a second prize. I was so surprised and excited because I had never been so lucky before. And the saleswoman was also quite happy and congratulated me many times. Then she told me that I was eligible for buying anything in that store for 80% off. That was like free money, and I definitely didn't want to waste this opportunity. Finally, I bought a gold necklace and left with satisfaction. But when I got home, I gradually realized that there was something wrong. I googled and found out that this was a classic trick. Here's the thing. You are almost certain to win the prize in that lottery, but all the jewelry is way overpriced, even if you got 80% or even 19% off. It's all about making you believe that you are so lucky that you have to grab the opportunity to buy something in that store. Knowing this, I laughed bitterly. Now I think back to the dramatic face on the saleswoman's face. I would say she's pretty good at acting. Okay, those are all the stories. Thank you for watching.
Neighborhood, so we always get a 2-hour lunch break, allowing us to have dinner, have lunch, and things. She's like, are you like tired? You haven't slept, it's so late. I'm like, no, not really. She's like, good, because we're going out. I'm like, oh, like, I wanted to swear, sorry.
Action.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone, I'm Ariel.
1, 2, 3, action.
Hello, Howard.